Hey, what's up? Knolly Williams here, and welcome back to the podcast. Now, in today's episode, we're going to talk about scripts. Scripts are so important to this business. You know, when I first got into business, I didn't like scripts, and I had a coach, a mentor, Arnold Solis, and he would tell me, Knolly, you got to learn your scripts, and he would practice scripts with me, and he would get me to enjoy scripts. And I got to tell you, scripts have really revolutionized and changed my business. So the scripts I want to share with you today, you already know that in my book, Success with Listings, I have 95 different scripts in that book. But the scripts I want to share with you today are really around my editable seller guide and how you can use that tool along with scripts to get any seller to list with you. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Success with Listings podcast, where we help you get success in the real estate game the easy way. Now you can get off the roller coaster of feast and famine and out of the rat race of competing with every other agent in town. Hi, I'm Knolly Williams. I took over 1,000 listings during my first 10 years in the real estate game, and in this podcast, I show you how to have success with listings. Let's go.
Okay, so here is a letter that I just had to share. This is from Richard Anderson, and he was from our Cape Cod event. My wife and I just got back from a week in Cape Cod where we did a success seminar. Richard attended, and here's what he says. Thank you for coming up this way and teaching us at the event. I took away so much. I received my book materials and extras today. I've already begun implementing them in my business by reaching out to vendors. The event made me really look at my business, my goals, and allowed me to take a totally different look than the one I had before. Now, this is on July 8th. Richard sent me this email. Now, listen to this one. Just 2 days later, here's what Richard said. He says, you've done nothing but ignite my business. I have redesigned my book cover, so he already redesigned his book cover. He's already received his printing quote, and he's reached out to vendors, and he's already come up with a strategic marketing plan to become famous, you know, as part of what I teach. And he also has already in the process of raising all the money to print all his books, to cover the cost of the licensing of the book, and get this, all the ads for his book, his postcards, his door hangers. He's getting advertisers to pay for all that stuff too. You know, it's part of what I teach is that anywhere that you go as a realtor, there are other people that want to be there as well. You've got handyman, you've got people that do lawn service, you've got people that are painters, plumbers, roofers, you name it. They want to be in front of your clients. And guess what? They'll pay for all of your marketing. And I teach you how to do that in my Success with Listings seminar. Those of you that attended, if you haven't attended, you know, it's a free online course, successwithlistings.com. And one of the things that I do is I share with you all the tools that I use. This is a great tool that I've used to get tons and tons of listings. It's a book that I wrote for sellers, and it goes through the entire process of helping them get their home sold, right? Think about it. How much, when you're sitting down with a seller at a listing appointment, how much of what you tell them at the listing appointment will they actually remember? Very little, right? So I wrote a handy guide to help my sellers remember the stuff that we talked about. They don't have to sit down and read it all at once, but guess what? They can go through it little by little as we're going through the listing term, and it helps answer any questions that they have, and it completely leverages my time, right? So this is what Richard did was he went ahead and licensed this system, and what I do is I allow it to be licensed where you can create your own version of it, right? And all you do, it doesn't cost you a dime, because all you're going to do is on the very back of it, you're going to have a handyman, a carpet cleaner, a home inspector, a moving service, a house cleaner, and a painter. You just have those 6 trades, and each of them pays you 99 bucks, and they pay that every single year. And then you're going to have, like down here, you would have a mortgage person or an attorney, and that spot would be $299. So guess what? You're making 900 bucks a year for every single year that you have the system. It's an absolute no-brainer. The other thing that I love about this, what really helped me to take over 1,000 listings in less than 10 years using marketing, this guide as a marketing material, a marketing tool, is when you look at the chapters, the very first chapter is deciding to sell. You know, you might come across someone and they may not want to talk to you about selling their home because they're not quite ready yet. Well, guess what? Now you can just give them a copy of your book and say, hey, I know you're not ready yet, but go ahead and read chapter 1. I want to give you this as a free gift. Read chapter 1, and then it'll help you make up your mind, or at least help you decide whether or not selling is right for you at this time. Maybe it's not the right time, right? And then you can walk away, right? You get their contact information, you walk away. Say, hey, could I follow up with you? Because here's what happens. When you give somebody an item of value, you hand them your book, right? It's your book with your name, your picture on it. And then you start backing up. Well, guess what? Now all of a sudden they want to talk to you like, wait a minute, you're an author. I've got a question about selling my house. Can I talk to you a little bit more? Right? That happens all the time. And I just tell people, hey, you know what? Go ahead and read a couple chapters and I'll give you a call in a week. Would that be all right with you? Great. Then they can read all about how I market their home for sale, how you're going to price their home for sale, how to get their home ready for the market. So once you, guess what? A couple weeks later, you talk to them, you've been talking back and forth with them, right? Because they saw your book, they got excited because they read your book, and they call you out to list their house. Now, all you got to do when you sit down, you sign the listing paperwork, you say, you know what, Jim? We're going to get your house on the market as soon as possible, but what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and read chapter 4, where it talks about getting your home ready for the market. Read chapter 4. There's some checklists in there. Go through the checklist, do everything that it says, or the things that I've highlighted, okay? And just give me a call when you feel like your home's ready. We'll send the photographers out, and we'll put it on MLS. So it's kind of a system that you're using. You're walking them through. Then, guess what? They call you up. They're like, hey, we're ready to get on MLS. You send the photographer out. You got the pictures came back. They look primo excelente. And then you give them a call and you say, hey, pictures came back. You got them. You know, I'm glad you guys are thrilled. My assistant told me that you guys love the photos, etc. And then you say, you know what? I want you guys to go ahead and read chapter 6, which is going to be all about handling showings. Because now that we're going to put your house on the market, we need to have you ready to handle those showings. And guess what? They flip to chapter 6, they find out it's only like 5 pages, and they're able to read through it real quick, and they're 100% set. They don't have to remember the things that you told them at the listing appointment. Now, then you get an offer. Let's say 2 weeks down the road, you get an offer on their house, and all you're going to have to do then is send a copy of the offer to them via email, along with, in the email, instructions to say, hey, here's a great offer, Jim and Sally Smith. I think it's a great offer. I want you to review it. I think it's great, but I want to get your opinion. So go ahead and review the offer. And while you're reviewing it, make sure that you go back and read chapter 7 of my book. It's going to walk you through the offer, and it's called Working with Offers. And guess what? They get the offer. And then they also they go to chapter 7 of your book, Working with Offers. And they start reading through everything about sales price, financing, escrow, closing, how all that works. And guess what? When they call you, they don't have any questions, right? Or they might have 1 or 2 questions because you've explained it so well in your book, right? It's a clever and brilliant way for you to save lots and lots of your time. So they call you up. They're like, hey, it's great. Now, you're at the closing table. Fast forward, you're at the closing table. And you go to Jim and Sally. You say, Jim, Sally, did I do everything that I promised I'd do to get your home sold? And they say, yeah, you did everything to get my home sold. You were great. And your sellers love you right there at the closing table. Well, that's a great opportunity to say, you know what I want to do for you is I want to give you 5 copies of my book so that you can pay it forward, so that any of your friends, family, maybe Facebook friends, church friends, anybody that you come across that's maybe thinking about getting their home sold as well, just give them a copy of my book and pay it forward that way. And guess what? Your books only cost you, well, they're less than $3 to print. So you just gave them 5 books, so that cost you less than $15. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a soldier that's ready to go out and recruit more business for you. So not only is by being a published author, you're going to be able to get more listings, right? People are going to want to list with you. In fact, since I've got this book handy, I mean, literally, agents have gone nuts over this system because it's transformed their business. But what the Coopers did, Samantha Cooper of the Cooper team, Cooper, I got to say it right now, Cooper and Associates Realty team. What she did, she went on an all-girls retreat, and they went to Lake Tahoe. Well, guess what? She got a $380,000 listing from that trip. She had her books with her. She licensed the book from me. She had her books printed, had them with her. She gave them to one of the gals on the trip, who it happens to be that her sister is a realtor. She had never met Samantha before this trip, right? A bunch of gals get together. Some of them don't know each other. Some of them do. And she had never met Samantha before this trip. Well, she listed her house with her. Why? Because she has a book. When you're famous, people want to do business with you. And that's part of what my tools do, is they help you become more famous. And they also help you get all of your marketing paid for as well. So anyway, go to successwithlistings.com. You'll be able to hear more about the complete system. The truth is, you can license the entire system. It's not going to cost you a dime out of your own pocket. Absolutely no cost to you, because your sponsors are going to cover the entire cost. God bless, guys. Knolly Williams here, and I'm wishing you success with listings.
Well, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Success with Listings podcast. If you are serious about taking your real estate career to the highest heights, making more money and helping more clients while working less hours and spending more time with your family, be sure to get your copy of my free book, Triple My Listing, absolutely free at successwithlistings.com. Now, you want to be sure that you subscribe to the podcast and check out successwithlistings.com to get your copy of my free book. Hey, I'll see you on the next one.